Hi, this is Craig again. This time we're going to do an alternator change. I don't know if you're lucky or I'm unlucky, but as you can see, I haven't even changed my shirt from the last video. That's because we got this new job that we're going to do. And I guess if you're looking at this right now, you're unlucky because you got a job to do. So we're going to go ahead and do this alternator change. Here's the tools we're going to need. You're going to need a socket set, some wrenches. We've got a small pipe that I use to get leverage. We're going to use this on our tensioner pulley to get the belt off. And a large screwdriver. So what we're going to do, first thing we're going to do is we're just going to come up here and get some of this stuff out of our way. This is an intake hose that goes to the and this car's not really a carburetor, it's fuel injected, so it's going to go to our throttle body. We're just going to take this off like so and get it up out of our way. This is our alternator. Now, the very first thing we got to do is we're going to have to loosen this bolt on your battery, positive side, and undo the power to your battery. We do not want any power. We don't want to mess anything up while we're over here working with the alternator because this is hot to the battery. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take and unclip the clips. You can see on this one it's just got two clips. We're going to press it open, lift it out. Let's go ahead and do an inspection while we're at it. Looks pretty clean. And we're going to do the same to this side. Get some leverage here, open up the clip. If I can get in here and get this done with this big screwdriver. We'll stop this video. I'll get a smaller screwdriver. Alright, now I went ahead and grabbed that screwdriver and I've got this little plug undone. So this is the plug we're talking about. We're going to go ahead and pull that. We already pulled the larger one. And I went ahead and right down here there's a nut on this main hot. This goes straight to the battery. We're going to take that nut off. And with that nut, we're going to go ahead and make sure there's not a lock washer on there. There usually is. This one there isn't. So, as you can see, the alternator has been completely unassembled. And the next thing that we got to do is take the tension belt off, or the belt off. And we're going to do that with the tension pulley. We're going to take this belt off. And what I've got in this particular situation is right down here on the idler pulley, I have this wrench hooked to it. And if you press down on it, it will, as I press down, it'll loosen this belt. With that belt loosened, what we're going to do now is we're going to take the belt off of the alternator. Just like so. And then we can let the tension come back up. Now what we have to do is we're going to go ahead and in this situation unmount the alternator. That's going to be that bolt and these two bolts here. We'll get those bolts off and this alternator will slide right out. Alright, I went ahead and I've got the all the main bolts out on the alternator. I'm pulling them right now. They're all loose. I'm pulling by hand. On this particular application there's only 3. And voila, we have all 3 bolts out. We have the alternator completely unhooked. We'll just take the alternator out. It's that simple. There it is. We're going to reverse the application to put it back together. The only thing you really have to be sure that you're doing, so if you'll follow me right over here, make sure you have the right belt application on where your pulleys go on your particular engine size. And then that'll tell you how your belts actually run through back over in case you mess up by dropping your belt down and you don't know where things are. You can see I've kind of got mine sitting there as I left it, so I know how to get it back on and where it belongs. Just make sure that you got your serpentine belt put in all the grooves on the pulley correctly, that it centers on those grooves exactly centered. Okay? Actually, once you get this mounted back up, again, you're going to go back over there, you're going to release the tension pulley, you're going to press down on it, and then lift the belt back up, set it back up on top of your alternator, your new one that you've installed, and then go ahead and replace everything back on it. Should save you a lot of money. It should be pretty simple to do. Job finished. Just make sure that the tension is good on the belt. And if you're using an older model vehicle and you've just got the V-belt style, you can pretty much just pull the alternator back on that type of a bracket. It'll be a bracket that goes from the water pump mount over to the alternator, and either put a large screwdriver in behind it and put some tension on it just so that it'll bounce a little. Not too tight, but you definitely don't want it loose. And when you get it to that tension point to where it feels spongy, but firm, then go ahead and tighten that alternator bracket on that style only. On this style, it's flat mounted. So with that said, good luck, and come back and see me again. This is Krager, and I'll talk at you later.